What's going on, everybody? I hope all is well. This video is going to go over what I feel is the 10 most commonly asked questions I've been asked throughout me doing total gym videos on this channel. And so I thought I'd make one video that kind of condenses a lot of these together. Some of these things I've addressed in past videos, some of these things I have not. But this is also a good video I thought to point towards whether you're an old subscriber or a new subscriber and you want to catch some of these answers to some of these questions. This is also a good video if you guys have any other questions. Definitely let me know and put them down below. Myself or other people watching hopefully can answer that question for you. As always, if you guys like this content and you want to see more, please like and or subscribe. I will put timestamps down below and links in the description box for anything that I'll be going over in this video. All right, question number one, and this is going to be in no particular order, and this is kind of like a two-part question really that people kind of infer when they ask these things, but they'll basically ask me, did you gain all your size from the total gym, and or can you build muscle using a total gym? I've addressed the second question many times. Yes, you can definitely build muscle using a total gym. I understand the first part of that question. They're looking at it saying, well, like, did you were already doing a lot of consistent training before, and now you've been kind of in the last, year and a half and using the total gym. That's, again, pretty much all I've been doing for my resistance training. Do you feel like you really built that size from the total gym? I would say yes. I think you can still build size using the total gym. There's a whole other number of factors that go into that I can make a whole nother separate video in, and I probably should. But I haven't noticed any regression as far as like my size and overall kind of my personal muscular definition. I'm nothing really to write home about. I don't think I have like anything, any crazy genetics or crazy muscle definition compared to other people that are out there. All I can say is I've been consistently training since I've been in some form of resistance training fashion since I was really like 16, 17. I've never missed a week of working out, that's for sure. Maybe the most I've missed is like 3 days. Not saying that's really a good thing because there's some benefits to taking time off for sure. But my point is, I think the biggest thing with putting on size, regardless of what apparatus you're doing, be specific. Definitely you got to target your muscles and be consistent using it. Add decent amount of volume, compound that over weeks and years and months and things like that. And then definitely as long as you're eating, that's going to be kind of putting on the literal size. When you put all those components together, you can build size and good muscle definition. And if you don't want that much size, just don't eat as much. That's a really simplistic way of kind of saying it. But the point is, yes, I do think you could build this, even though I haven't been doing the total gym consistently throughout, the majority of all the years training. I do think it's helping contribute and also just maintaining my own size where I'm at right now. Question number two is basically, why don't I go to the gym or recommend going to the gym? I definitely am not discouraging people from going to the gym. I think going to the gym is awesome. There's a lot of people that watch this channel do both. They'll go to the total gym and go to the actual physical gym. I've gone to the gym my whole life until, like I said, this last kind of year and a half. Just more a habit. I've just been really loving the total gym workouts. They're really efficient. They're getting the job done as far as the goals that I'm kind of setting for myself. It's not saying I'll never go back to the gym, but the biggest thing I wasn't going back initially was because I was just aside from just loving the total gym workouts, I just really all the little protocols that were going on at the gyms at the time. The idea of like a big one was like just working out with a mask on my face. I knew I could never do that. That was just, for me personally, I had no intention of wanting to do that. I did it one time on a vacation with my older brother. We were somewhere and we worked out at a hotel gym, and I had to wear a mask for a workout. I was like, I'm never doing this again. Now everyone's a little different. Had different preferences with that. I just felt like, this is, for me, it wasn't worth it. That was a big deterrent for me even going to the gym, wanting to go to the gym early on. And that kind of cascaded the effect of me getting used to working out at home. So that was something. I'm not saying I'll never go back to the gym. Gym's a great place, but those are some primary reasons just why I don't go to the gym. Question number three basically is, what is the best sliding bench trainer? And maybe more specifically, they might say with a total gym, should I get the XLS or the Fit model because they are kind of similar? I'll just say the best sliding bench trainer, there really is no best sliding bench trainer. They all have their little pros and cons, honestly, in a number of different ways. Even the Great Flex, Great Flex is another great machine, literally. But that compares closely with the Total Gym Fit. But I get a lot of questions, especially recently, about like what should I get, the XLS or the Fit model? They're both great. The XLS has that extra bar attachment, so you can put two different sites for the weight bar attachment, which is awesome. The detriment to the XLS to the Fit is that the XLS isn't as high, doesn't have as much of a glide distance, doesn't have as many holes in the tower versus the Fit. I think they're both very comparable. I linked the model down below that I personally got with the Fit, the Total Gym Fit model that came with all the bells and whistles. The XLS, you can get a really good, decent XLS like base package with like just a squat stand and the wing dip apart attachments for I think like $800 or something on Amazon with free shipping. That's not bad for that model. They're both very good, high quality, good, really built models. It just depends if it's worth it to have those extra features of a higher tower, more holes, or if you want that extra sight for the weight bar attachment. But both of them are great models. So that's kind of my answer on that, if you guys are curious. Question number 4, I kind of decided to put in a different category, even though it's kind of similar to number 3. But really, I get this question a lot. Is like, what about the cheaper Total Gym models, the cheaper sliding bench trainers that are out there? Weider Ultimate Body Works, the new version is kind of back in production from that Proform company. But what about like the cheaper Total Gym models? I will say stay tuned to this channel because I'm thinking about picking one of those up just to do a review. Much to my wife's chagrin, she thinks I'm going crazy with these Total Gyms, but people ask that question so much, and I'm generally interested. Honestly, I haven't used them. My point would be, I think they are. It seems like they're a decent quality and they're a good kind of entry level into the machine, but they're still not ultimately that cheap. You know, like the cheapest Apex model is like $300, so. That's something to kind of consider. I just haven't really used them. They are a lower height, but I can see for some people, especially some demographics of people, they don't necessarily need like a really high tower. They don't need a big a big weight limit for some people, so that might be a good option for them. Some of those, even that Apex has an option to put a weight bar attachment down below, so that's something. I just personally haven't used them. They could definitely be great, but honestly haven't used them too much. Question number 5 is, can you build strength in the Total Gym? So different than putting on like lean muscle mass, people ask like, can you build good physical strength? Maybe you're like a power lifter, or I shouldn't say, yeah, maybe you're a power lifter, maybe you do like a lot of heavy benching, squatting, deadlifting, and you want to kind of keep that up, or you're deciding maybe, can I still get some of those benefits maybe using a Total Gym? I would say, you know, you could I think you could do it, and I was thinking about doing a whole series on that. I just feel like it's a little bit more cumbersome to do. I don't think it's where the Total Gym really shines. Yes, you will build like base strength, you will get stronger if you're starting kind of from nothing, and it kind of helps like maintain some decent level of strength. But as far as like raw strength, like increasing your pressing and pulling and stuff like in your legs, like squatting and deadlifting, and into your back and stuff like that, I would say, you know, it's not as efficient as using traditional barbells and free weights. So I would say for that type of person, to me, it makes more sense to either go to a gym. It's probably the best option. The more expensive option is to go ahead and buy all that stuff for your house. Now, you guys know how I feel about that. I just don't want all that clutter in my house. I'm just not using that as much. So I would say, yes, you can do it with the Total Gym. I think there's some unique things to do, but it gets really cumbersome in my opinion. I'd probably just say no, go use some free weights and barbells and dumbbells to really increase that raw strength. Now this one I almost made a whole video on altogether, and maybe I will in the future, but who should not be using a Total Gym? People have kind of asked this in kind of a roundabout way, a number of questions, but unfortunately, I think there are some people that I don't think would really truly benefit from a Total Gym, and I've kind of saw some personal experience. Almost made a video about it, but I know there's someone close to me that again is definitely on the heavier side. I thought the Total Gym might be an option for them, and it was clear that the Total Gym was just very hard to kind of get into and then get off of. So people that are in that morbidly obese category, especially if they're a little older, they got bad knees and have a whole lot of good balance. They have a hard time getting up and off the ground. If they fall down, that's going to be a big deal. The Total Gym, while it definitely can be good for certain exercises, it kind of limits their use of the machine. I found these people just generally feel really uncomfortable and kind of iffy about, you know, really settling into the machine, getting up and on and off the machine. So even though it has a high weight limit, some of these people, they're either going to need some assistance to really get set up on that and feel comfortable. Otherwise, like I said, it just kind of limits their use to a number of the different exercises. So in my opinion, it really wouldn't make sense. Now, it might be a good addition to other things in the house, but you do miss out on some of the flexibility that someone who is can get into some of these positions. Like, you know, it's easier to just kind of sit in and kind of grab the cables, you know, stretch your arms back and grab them and set up and kind of go to town on it. These people have to be a little more careful. There are the more expensive models, but again, the biggest problem I was finding with these people is that really just sitting in the machine and then getting back up was kind of scary for them, because they just were a little nervous about, you know, holding onto the handles and sitting down and up. So people that are morbidly obese, and I would say even senior citizens to some degree, I think if you kind of gain some functionality back and you kind of get used to it, and I think these people can start using it some more. But the morbidly obese people that are some seniors, people with disabilities, I think there's some stuff you can do, but again, you're going to be limited in some of the things that other people that have more flexibility in a number of areas can really hit and accomplish with this machine. Question number 7 is this good for weight loss? Is a Total Gym or Slotty Bench trainer a good thing to pick up if you're looking to lose weight? I would say simplistic answer to this is it's no better than any other piece of fitness equipment, even like a jump rope. Could a jump rope help you to lose weight? Yes. There's a lot of people on the channel that have said they've picked up a Total Gym, they've lost weight, their clothes are fitting better. Odds are it's probably not just the Total Gym. Yes, the Total Gym is probably helping shape the body. That would be a direct thing the Total Gym can help you with, like putting on lean muscle tissue. I mean, basically building muscle, having your muscles be looking more defined, and those are kind of popping more for sure. But as far as weight loss is concerned, I think that's going to be a lot more, that's more determined on your lifestyle factors, other things you're doing. So odds are if you're using the Total Gym and you're losing weight, it's probably from other factors as well. You're probably doing other healthy habits like watching what you're eating and overall caloric intake. So yes, it's going to be a good aid, but it's really no different than any other piece of fitness equipment. The biggest thing, if it's going to be a good beneficial thing to add to your weight loss regimen, is that if you're actually going to be using it. So if you're not using it, I would say no. So make sure you like it and you're going to keep up with it, then yes, I would say it's going to help out. Number 8, I made a whole video on these on Total Gym attachments, but what is the best Total Gym attachment? And I just say it right now, it's the larger squat stand. If you don't have a larger squat stand, go ahead and get that. Or people ask me, should I get the larger squat stand? Just no brainer. Yes, get the larger squat stand. It's worth it. Even not just for leg stuff. You can do stuff in place of the Pilates bar. Things that I do instead of the Pilates bar, you actually could use the squat stand to kind of hold on to that, or even put the bar across it and do some presses from it. So even not just for leg stuff, you can do a lot of creative things with that. That is the best Total Gym attachment, hands down. Question number 9 is kind of another two-parter question here. But basically, are Total Gyms worth the money, and why are they so expensive? I understand where they're coming from, especially if you kind of look at the Great Flex, which is like $500, $600, or some of their other lower end models. When you start going up a little bit, the Total Gym can get in like the thousands range. So is it worth it? I mean, one thing we'll say, I mean, beggars can't be choosers. You know, if you're selling a particular widget and no one else is really making that widget, you can kind of charge a little more for that. I don't really know like the markup and the cost. I assume there is a markup and cost. Nothing wrong with people trying to make money. I think the Total Gym itself and the name and the company, they really did set the stage for the design of and really improving the design of these original Slotty Bench trainers around beforehand. So they really set the market. They are kind of the gold standard to kind of look up to. So they charge a little bit more. Are they worth the money? It's really only worth it if you're going to be using it. Now, if you look at something that's more expensive, like the top of the line Total Gyms, the ones that are like the GTS, and I think it's called, like now they call it the Elevate or Encompass design. That's like the same thing with the same different name, different kind of, maybe there's some subtle differences. And actually I think the Encompass, they actually sell on Amazon. I'll link that down below. That's like $4,000 basically, that and the GTS. And so is that worth it? I mean, but comparing that level of worth to like a Total Gym Fit, again, maybe you might use it a lot, but that's something you really have to value the worth, because how much more are you getting with that extra couple $1,000s that you can get the same kind of benefits using the Fit or the XLS model? So yes, I think they're worth it if you're going to use it, no question. Is there probably a markup when you get to like the $1,000 range? Is it really worth the build quality? You have the warranty and stuff like that, but I think, why is it so expensive? I think it's expensive because of the name brand for sure. And some people like just having that name brand quality of the Total Gym versus say like a Great Flex or some knockoff model. I will say the Total Gym, compared to other knockoff models that are out there, the Total Gym, you can't really beat the frame and the build of the machine. So I got really nothing bad to say about that. I understand it seems like a lot of money to people, but that the worth part of it really comes down to you actually using the machine, especially if you're looking at something that's like on the cheaper end of the model or the little bit more expensive ones. So like the Apex versus like the Fit or XLS, when you're talking $300 or $1,000 plus. Really depends on what you're going to use it. If you're going to use the Total Gym as like a secondary thing to your house, maybe going to the gym, maybe opt for like a lower model. If you end up not liking it, you can always sell it to like a Craigslist or like a Facebook marketplace or something like that. And then the last question, which I get many times over, and I've addressed this a number of different ways, and there's a number of ways you could answer it, but I'll try and answer it simply. How many days a week should you use a total gym? I'll just say this, a very blanket statement. I'll say I would recommend 2 or 3 days if you're doing total. I would say 3 days a week if you're doing a total body workout. Otherwise, I'd say around 4 days if you're doing like an upper body, lower body split. So maybe at least 2 days working upper body, maybe 2 days working your lower body. But you guys know me. Sometimes it's like usually 2 days working upper body and maybe like I kind of skip one of those lower body days to kind of do some cardio stuff. But that's my general recommendation. I would try and work the body parts at least twice a week. That would be my recommendation for you guys to do, with the workouts lasting, somewhere between 20 to 40 minutes, regardless on which one you're doing. Hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully this wasn't too redundant on things I've said before, but I really wanted to cover a number of things that I commonly get asked, so I can refer back to this video. If there was something I didn't cover, I feel like there's probably another big area that I did not cover that people ask me a lot about. Doesn't matter what, there's no stupid questions. Ask me down below. I'd be happy to take the time and answer those. And if I don't, I'm sure someone else will, but I will always look at every single comment that comes through and I'll address it. So thanks again for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.